Eric Muathe with a continuation of the ultimate Muathe breakout examples. Let's take a look at GRO 2006 August. Now first and foremost, you see that there's a breakout taking place here at about $11.30 right there. But what really you might fail to see right off the bat is the fact that the stock had already posted a very big move, moving from $3 breakout here all the way to $14 in about a space of, actually moving from September all the way to April there, a very short time, about 9 months. So this was a major mover in the market at the time, had already posted another breakout here, and now was trying to break out again. Look, the stock could look extended ordinarily, but again we are learning how to play and trade explosive stocks. And as you can see, during all these breakouts, all the three breakouts, the $3 breakout here, the $9 breakout there, and now the $11.30 breakout, you see that the RSIs in each instance, hope I can show both right there, see that the RSIs were already trading at above 69.10 here, all-time highs right there. So that's an all-time high breakout somewhere around here in price, and then also staying above 69.10. The stock would stay above 69.10 during this breakout here and also during this breakout here. So very powerful RSI formation, and in each instance you see that the MACD was already trading at 3-year highs minimum or multi-year highs, and breaking out, continuing to move to new highs as the stock was breaking out, even from an extended point of view. If we take a look at what would happen after that $9.30 breakout, which is this breakout here, the stock would go on to trade as high as $35, $36 in about 5 months. So that's all it took. The fact that the MACDs and the RSIs, MACDs new highs, another new high here. So at least one of the main MACDs was making a new high, and just knowing that was enough to present an opportunity for investors to own an $11 stock and hold it for 5 months to triple their money. The ultimate Muathe breakout is, quite frankly, one of the most powerful ways of finding momentum moving stocks and stocks that can give you a big return in the shortest amount of time. Let's take a look at another name here, PCP, and multiple breakouts here that I show a breakout here of about $22 breakout, $37 breakout, $52 breakout, multiple breakouts in each instant. And you'll notice that in each instant the RSI was doing exactly what we'd like it to do, minimum requirement. As you can see, all-time highs there on the RSI, moving about 69.10, all right, during this breakout here, which was successful. Another breakout here would see the RSI make another all-time high, and also the breakout at $52 is happening while the stock is staying above 69.10. So the stock is already trading above 69.10. Let me show that a different way. So while this breakout at 52 is taking place, take a look at where your stock is trading, above 69.10, and that's the magic area where stocks really move. If you follow the dotted lines, this line here, this line here, and this line here, follow them so we can see what the MACDs were doing at the time. You see that in each instant the MACD was breaking out to multi-year highs, if not all-time highs. All right, so we want one of our MACDs to do that, break out to new highs, at least 3-year highs. Okay, now let's take a look at what would happen after that $52 breakout, which at the time also seemed extended. See that the stock would break out, which is 52, which was I believe this breakout here is the one I show, and also there was another breakout, yet another breakout at about $60 there. In each either way, you would have rode the stock all the way to 115, which is very close to doubling your money in each instant of the breakout. And surprisingly, the RSI on a monthly level is absolutely unbelievable. The RSI would still be trading above 69.10. So clearly, the RSI is not a measure of how oversold or overbought a stock is. The RSI is a measure of sentiment and a measure of power, a measure of intent, a measure of momentum. And so investors should use it correctly. Again, we see that the MACDs were also doing precisely what they should be doing, breaking out again and again, right there to new highs here and here during the $52 breakout and the $60 breakout. So MACDs, new highs here, MACDs, new highs there. Bam! You have a good return. Let's move on here to the next example. And we are looking at NTRI, Neutral Systems. Now this one had a major move in 05, breaking out here initially above $4, $3.90 in that range. And also now, after moving from $4 all the way to $24, unbelievable move. The stock was trying to break out again. I mean, what kind of a audacity is that? So $4, $24 settles down for 1 month, one red month, down below this monthly closing high. So you set yourself an alert right there. Now remember, the stock had already gained 485%, 485% in only 6 months. And now, after settling down for 1 month and now trying to move back above this level, very powerful move. So let's take a look at what was happening as far as the RSI is concerned. So during this very successful breakout, very successful, take a look at what the RSI was doing. The RSI was breaking out to all-time highs, if not breaking out to 3-year highs. And now the stock is trying to break out with the RSI trading in this level. So that's a sign of power. And investors who are paying attention to the technicals, as I am showing here, would have known this was a stock not to ignore. Of course, we see each breakout here was taking the stock to RSI, MACD highs, and also MACD highs already during the $24 breakout on the monthly chart. Also, I want to point out something here. Before the stock breaks out here, we also see another small run from about, moving the stock from about $1 all the way to $4 here. So there was a major run here, and you notice that the RSI had already broken out here. So the RSI had already come out of this negative area. The RSI was making 3-year highs even here. So even this move here would have been very profitable. So you set your alert at $4, and the next time the stock breaks out above $4, with the technicals agreeing with you, you want to go long. So even the 03, 04 time frame rally met the minimum requirement. So let's see what happened after this $23, $24 breakout on a very powerful moving stock. So we see that after breaking out here, unbelievably, the stock would go to trade as high as $75. So $23, $24 here, $75 there. That's what I'm talking about. And also, you'll notice there were multiple other entry points. There was another breakout here after 1 month of rest, one lower monthly closing low. Set an alert for this breakout on the stock there. Again, stock would make a high there, close down for 2 months before breaking out above this level. So there's another entry point there. So multiple entry points, and in each instant you can see very clearly that the the RSI was trading above 69.10 in this particular instance. So the the power of the stock was being confirmed by the RSI staying above 69.10. Very powerful breakout there. And not to be left behind, you can see that the MACDs were also confirming absolute strength and momentum. Breakout. Each breakout saw the MACDs push to multi-year highs. So the minimum requirements were met as the stock went on an amazing run. Ultimate Muathe breakout, showing you its power. Let's go to the next example here. And now we're taking a look at a stock, CPH, and you can see that multiple. This is now a monthly chart, and we are looking at, I guess, multiple breakouts here. Like I said, it's been a while since I had this chart. I've had this chart on my site for a long time. So the stock had already had a nice run, because take a look at the fact that it was trading in 96 was trading at $5, and here we are about 4 years later trading at the 20s and trying to break out again. Okay, but for the purposes of learning, we are going to concentrate on the breakout, this breakout here at about $21. Why? Because the RSI was already trading above 69.10. So we want to go back and look at point number 3.5. Breakouts when the RSI is already trading above 69.10 on the monthly, even though that seems extended, but breakout when that is happening. So let's see what the MACDs were doing, and you can see the MACDs were also breaking out to multi-year highs, and also already seeing a breakout on the MACD. So this breakout early 2000 was not overbought, but was actually meeting the minimum requirements. RSI above 69.10. Also the RSI was close to a 3-year high there, very close to making a 3-year high. Very powerful, and we can see that the MACDs were already trading at 3-year highs, if not all-time highs on the monthly. So what happens after that breakout? You can see what would happen with the market being on a very strong move, with the technology stocks leading the market into March of 2000, and this breakout here would move the stock from $21 all the way to about $60 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. It only took 5 months to gain 200%. It's an amazing run, okay? And you can see that all this happened. Why? Because the RSI was making an all-time high there, all-time high, and also a multi-year high on the RSI somewhere around there. So multi-year high on the RSI, all-time high on the RSI there. So multiple yearly breakouts, and the MACDs were also doing exactly what we expect them to do. Everything was aligned up. That's why the stock had such a nice run. Let's take a look at another example. BPA, quickly here, you see that the stock is breaking out here above 350. Take a look at what the RSI is doing. The RSI is also breaking out to 3-year highs, and also an opportunity of moving the RSI to above 50 and also to all-time highs on the monthly RSI. Take a look at what the MACDs are doing. MACDs are very close to a 3-year high, not quite there, but very close. But you'll notice that the brown line, the other MACD line, was just breaking out, very close to breaking out. So the brown MACD line about to break out, and you see that the brown MACD is already breaking out here. That line is already at all-time highs, so we meet our minimum requirements that the MACD should be at least breaking out. What happens after this breakout here? It was enough to move the stock. So remember, we are talking about this all-time high move in the RSI there, which happens to be this price breakout here. Now this is not the best looking chart, because you can see how this is, how much volatility here. The stock would move from about $4 all the way to $10. But To me, this is not a good looking chart. Why? Because the stock had already shown us potential of volatility, and take a look at this volatility here. So history of volatility means that the stock also could do the same, and in this particular example we see that the stock, even though it broke out and had a good run, but not the best looking chart, lots of volatility in this period here and lots of volatility being repeated here. So I personally avoid stocks that show me a history of not being stable, because they could continue being unstable, and you want stocks that move gradually over time. Let's take a look at another example here. In this particular example, we are taking a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones breaking out, and this would be actually the reason why I have this chart here is because if we go back and take a look at the multiple breakouts the Dow had going back to the 80s, and for example, if we take this breakout here in 1983, the RSI was also, so the Dow had a nice breakout in 1983 here. Take a look at what the RSI was doing, making a 3-year high, if not an all-time high. Hence the market had a nice run. There was another nice entry point here in 95, which also happens to be a move above 69.10, and also a breakout to all-time highs on the RSI, okay, or at least on this chart. So this chart shows you that entry points on the Dow, where the Dow was successful. There's another entry point here in 93, also happened to be an area where the RSI broke out above 69.10, and also the RSI made 3-year highs. I hope you can see that. You can pause the video to see that the RSI would make a 3-year high there. That's why this was a good breakout. There was another breakout here in 95, 96 there, which also happened to be a period where the market was moving above 69.10, and also another all-time or a multi-year breakout right there on the RSI. So multiple entry points, and that's why you had a market that over about 20-30 years here had a major rally. Why? Because the RSI was doing precisely what we need markets to do when they are breaking out. And also the MACDs. The MACDs in each instance were making multi-year high breakouts. Breakout there in 95, 96, breakout there in 96, breakout there in 97. In each instant, we see that the market had a major move from the 80s all the way to the 90s and into the early part of 2000. Now take a look at the Dow. This is a closer look for the Dow on a monthly basis, and we are looking at the period of the 2006 summer breakout. This breakout here, which was successful. Notice what was happening at the same time. The Dow was also breaking out here on the RSI. This blue line shows where the Dow was breaking out to 3-year highs right there. Market breaking out there. What's not to like in 06? That would push the Dow to the highs in late 2007. But that was a good breakout. And also notice that the MACDs were also making a 3-year high. So this can also be used on major markets. So 3-year high on one of the MACDs right there meant that the Dow was a buy at that particular point in the history of the market trading. Let's take a look at Apple here, and this is a good example of one of the stocks that has done well over the last 10 years or so. Now this one, let's go back to this period where the stock before anybody ever conceived an idea of an iPod, an iPad, iPhone. So we're talking about the 90s period here. This move that took the stock from, let's say, this breakout here of about $10 all the way to $35 in about 1 year, 2 year time frame. Very big move. And you'll see that that was taking place. Why? Because this breakout here was taking place with the RSI also breaking out there. Okay, very good entry point there. Very nice entry point. And also there was another breakout here in the RSI. Hope you can see that. This breakout here in about 98 was this entry point here. this breakout there. So there was another entry, a lower entry point. Why? Because the RSI was moving to close to 3-year highs there. Entry point, another 3-year high, actually an all-time high for this instrument at the time, which moved it from about $10 all the way to $35. Okay, so we come to the iPod error, and this is where I posted an alert for subscribers. An alert was sent out for subscribers somewhere around here in the $12. Remember, Apple will go on to trade as high as $700, from $12 all the way to $700 by the time 2012. So this was a breakout right here. 3-year highs, absolutely powerful. Remember, this is when you want to own a stock. 3-year highs there on the RSI on the monthly. Take a look at the RSI. This was an absolute powerful entry, moving above zero, making a 3-year high, moving above 3-year high levels on the other MACD time frame, and that was good enough to launch a major mover in the market. And you can see after this buy point here in 2003, 2004 would move the stock from $12 all the way to $110, almost $120. And those are also other breakouts. There's another nice breakout here after 1 month of rest. There's another entry point here, another breakout after multi-month rest there, another entry point here after a multi-month rest here. So another multi-month rest there, multiple entry points. There was another entry point here after this multi-month rest there. So multiple entry points, multiple stock giving you many entry opportunities. And why? Take a look at what the RSI was doing. The RSI was trading in this general area here where money is made. This is where money is made. Most people avoid those sectors, that RSI level. What they're doing is avoiding the best time when a stock is powerful. So RSI highs here each time. So the MACDs were not disappointing. The MACDs were doing exactly what they need to do when they're trying to tell you that a stock is on a powerful bull run. Okay, let's take a look at another one here. Stock is breaking out here above $3.50. Let's take a look at what well, you might not see this, but it looks like the RSI, even in this general area, the RSI is moving to a 3-year high right there. And actually, I don't encourage you buying stocks whose RSI is trading in this general area, because this is where money is lost. And to be honest, take a look at all this. During all this period here, it's just the reverse for a bullish stock. When your RSI is trading in this general area, you want to avoid a stock doing that. But this is just for an example of showing you what happens when a stock's RSI makes a 3-year high. Because while the stock was trading in that general area, notice what price was doing. Price was dropping during all this period. That's why you want to avoid stocks whose RSI is trading in this general money losing area. Okay, avoid stocks. Don't go hunting for bargains in that area. But notice that now the stock's MACD is making a move above zero, which is the first time it's done so in years, and also all-time highs or multi-year highs on the MACD there. So let's see what happens after the fact. And you see that was enough to move the stock. Now this is a weekly chart, enough to move that stock from $3.50 all the way to about $10. So a 180% gain in just 5 months, because the MACD and the RSIs were moving to 3-year highs. This is a weekly, and you can also see that on the weekly, the breakout saw the RSI on the weekly break out to multi-year levels on the RSI breakout there, also a move above 69.10. And during all this move from $3.50 somewhere here to $10, take a look at where the RSI was trading. So more than a 180% gain during this period where most investors would be scared to own a stock that is extended. You would have more than doubled your money, almost quadrupled your money. Why? Because the RSI was showing you how powerful it was. And you see that the MACDs, even on the weekly chart, were breaking out. Breakout on the MACDs on the weekly, breakout on the MACDs on the weekly, breakout on the MACDs on the weekly, breakout there. So even on the weekly, the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout were being reinforced. Let's take a look at another here. So before we conclude, I have two more chart examples, as in two stocks. But remember, this is very simple, no complicated indicators, two simple indicators as in the RSI and the MACD, same analysis every time on every chart. Genius! Let's take a look at LNG, one of the best movers in 03. Notice what happened here. Stock would break out above this, after this consolidation here, would break out above this 70 cents area there, 70 cents area. Let's take a look at what the RSI was doing. The RSI was making a multi-year high, if not an all-time high. So the RSI is meeting our minimum requirement. And take a look at the MACDs, close to 3-year highs there, 3-year highs here. So one of them was making a 3-year high. That is exactly what we want. So after the stock met our minimum requirements in 03, take a look at what happened. Remember, we are talking about this breakout here in 03 at about 70 cents. The stock would go on to move all the way to as high as $42, believe it or not. Okay, why? Because it met the minimum requirements. So this is a 5,000% gain, and yet we haven't changed the minimum requirements. This is a method that keeps producing. And also notice that the stock gave you, please do not give up on stocks that have moved. Okay, even at this particular juncture here, the stock had moved from 75 cents all the way to about $10. People were scared to own the stock. The stock had moved again from 75 cents all the way to about $3. That's a big move. But the stock gave you, I'm trying to reinforce the idea that stocks give you multiple entry points. Do not run away from great stocks. Own great stocks. Own greatness. So there was another breakout here after 1 month of rest, so you buy the stock again there. There's another entry point on this chart we can see here after multi-months rest. Even there's another entry point here after multi-month rest, so you buy the stock at about 37, sell it at about 42. That's still a good gain. But the bottom line here, what we are trying to reinforce is that the ultimate Muathe breakout gave you multiple RSI entry points. This breakout here saw the RSI make an all-time high. This breakout here saw the RSI move to all-time highs here. So those gave you the biggest move. Take a look at all-time highs here, there, bam. All-time highs here, bam. Okay? And then take a look at the MACDs. The MACDs were doing exactly what we need them to do. All-time highs, all-time highs, all-time highs, all-time highs. You want to own a great stock? Insist on all-time highs. At least 3-year highs. This is the last stock on this long example list. Doesn't matter what the ticker symbol is, but it's KMGB. And some of these stocks don't trade anymore. Alright, breakout here. This is a weekly chart to about $11.80. Another breakout here at about $13, moving the stock from 12 to 20. Wow, big move. Take a look at what the RSI was doing. Nice RSI breakout to multi-year highs there. Another RSI breakout there. So the RSIs were doing exactly what they need to do on a weekly, and the MACDs were also on breakout mode here. Very nice. So let's take a look at what would happen. That was enough to move their stock. And now I'm showing you the monthly. This breakout was enough to move the stock from about $12 all the way to 20 because the RSI on the monthly was breaking out to all-time highs. See whether I can show you that. Hope you can see that at the RSI on the monthly was making an all-time high when the stock was breaking out above $12, $11. And also you see that the MACDs were breaking out. So that stock had a nice run, not the biggest mover, but you never lost money. So I'm gonna leave you with that. That's all the examples, but we've taken time to take a look at the ultimate Muathe breakout. The reason why I call it the ultimate Muathe breakout is because it is the ultimate in finding you explosive stocks, bar none. I am out. Peace and blessing.